Huge update on the TNA TV deal, plus so much more. Guys, we're going to talk about it. This is the Ango Show.
Yes.
Welcome back to the Ango Show. Don't forget, we got a giveaway at 100,000 subscribers, so you should probably click subscribe for a chance to win. Also, in addition to that, guys, we got to just jump right into it. TNA making some waves. Shawn Spears was recently at the TNA tapings in Florida. According to Fightful Select, former AEW talent Shawn Spears, formerly known as Ty Dillinger, was also at this past weekend's tapings. Shawn Spears is from the area and was seen backstage. However, we were told that several saw him with Scott D'Amore for about 20 minutes at gorilla position as well. Obviously, this is a very interesting story considering Shawn Spears wasn't the only one who was reportedly backstage. It appears that the Maximum Male models were also backstage at the TNA tapings. And there's been rumblings and rumors that TNA is going to be announcing some new signings very soon. And guys, I'm in favor for all three of these. I think Shawn Spears in general, a true veteran of the business, WWE experience, AEW experience, indie experience. And the best part is I think he could still go. So, you know, going to TNA would be a really good idea, especially if he continues the chairman gimmick. I thought that was very wonderfully done when he initially came to AEW. Unfortunately, I don't think AEW really had plans for him, and therefore they kind of dropped the ball there. But I think this would be a nice pickup for TNA. And then also in regards to the Maximum Male models, Mace and Mansoor, both of those guys, incredible tag team wrestlers, very good gimmicks, very good character work, but also they're very good wrestlers. And they're really good at this internet stuff, man, whether it's live streaming or whatever it may be. You know, I think that's a very big, important aspect to it as well, especially when you look at wrestling in 2024. If you're not inside WWE, if you're not inside AEW, how are you going to get people to talk about you? And they've all done a really good job of people remembering who they are. And obviously, they're all very talented. So this could be a really good pickup for TNA. Not only Shawn Spears, but Mason Mansoor could be a really fun pickup. I look at the TNA tag team division on the up and up. It looks like it's on the rebound. And if you bring in Mason Mansoor, not only are they going to be able to have some great matches there, but then, of course, they can have some really good storylines as well. And personally speaking, I think that would be a great thing for TNA. Also, what I find very interesting here is that TNA, and I like this about TNA, but TNA doesn't just sign absolutely everybody and anybody. And that's kind of been the way it's been, you know, since Anthem has owned the company. And I like that. I like the fact that they pick up great talent. And sometimes it's not always the biggest names, but when they bring in this type of talent, I feel like they give everybody an identity. And I think they give everybody a purpose on television, and that is a great thing. And guys, we got more to talk about for TNA in just a little bit, but we got to talk about Drew McIntyre because it came out today that Drew McIntyre still has yet to sign with the WWE. At least according to Mike Johnson of PW Insider Elite, it was reported that Drew McIntyre still hasn't signed a new contract with WWE. If a new deal isn't reached, McIntyre would be free and clear to sign anywhere right after WrestleMania 40. And look, this is interesting to me for three reasons. The first reason is there is a lot of intrigue for me to see what Drew Galloway could do in AEW. There's also a lot of intrigue as to what Drew Galloway could do in New Japan Pro Wrestling. And the third reason why this is so intriguing to me is that Drew McIntyre currently has one of the best character evolutions currently happening on WWE television. And I like the Scottish Warrior. I thought he was great during the pandemic. And I think he's been great in pretty much everything WWE has handed to him on the main roster. But at the same time, too, this is the best version of Drew McIntyre we have ever seen. In a weird way, he's a heel character. But at the same time, too, watching him as a heel character, I'm starting to very much realize that he is very logical. And the reason to why, like, for the reason why he's behaving, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like this is one of those things that, like, in a strange scenario, I feel like his actions are kind of justified on television. So I'm truly bought into everything that he's doing as a character on WWE television. I do want to see him re-sign. I want him to main event WrestleMania. I want him to hold the World Heavyweight Championship again. I love this character work right now. And then obviously we know that Drew McIntyre is a great wrestler, but the first 2 points that I made is the intrigue of seeing Drew Galloway in AEW as well as New Japan. This guy can wrestle, and there's a lot of matchups that we have yet to see. And a lot of those talents are signed outside of WWE. So, of course, there is a lot of intrigue there to see what he can do with some of those talents. You know, we talk often about dream matches here in the wrestling community. There's quite a few of them that I want to see. But ultimately, in terms of character and storytelling, right now, Drew McIntyre is doing it best. I don't think there's anybody really right now that is even coming close to what he's done in the last several months. And I love the fact that it's all a slow burn. I love the fact that a lot of it is logical. But it is shocking to me that he hasn't re-signed it. Now, is this a situation where maybe Drew McIntyre has yet to re-sign with the WWE because he wants more money? He wants to kind of wait and see? I don't know. But this is very interesting considering the fact that WWE's been putting him on TV in a major capacity and they have yet to re-sign him. So maybe he is re-signing with the company and maybe this is all being done on purpose. I don't know. But one thing I do want to reiterate, I've said this before in a previous live stream, and I really do want to see this happen. I would have Drew McIntyre win the World Heavyweight Championship and do a walkout storyline. Because if you look at his character evolution and everything that his character is bringing to light, it makes a lot of sense. And when you blur the lines between what is real and what is fake, I think that right there creates money. And I think this is one of those scenarios that can absolutely do it. And you know, CM Punk came into the company, and I feel like that kind of changed things a little bit. We'll see if that actually remains true. But yeah, that's what I want to see. Drew McIntyre stay with WWE. What do you guys think? All right, guys, I want to talk to you about this really dope interview. Santino Marella was on Busted Open Radio. TNA director Santino Marella. Let me just make that very clear. He is the director of authority in TNA television. But he was talking to Dave LaGreca. You know, obviously this was a really cool thing where he just kind of talks a little bit about TNA. And he says the way people consume the product is changing. People stream it, but there's still a stamp of approval that you need from a big television network. That's the only missing piece. And they're working on it. Once we get on a channel that everyone can see, that's when we're going to change gears and blow up to the next level. And it's like everyone wants to be a part of it when that happens. It's like buying the stock before the company blows up. You want to be there during that transition because it's going to be history and it's going to happen. I'm very confident it's going to happen. Everyone is confident it's going to happen. You want to be a part of it when it happens, not a week later. You got to be there during that moment. And look, you know, the thing is, a lot of people talk about the TNA TV deal. Obviously, this is a very interesting time period because of the free agency, right? We were just talking about some potential free agents earlier in the video. Okada's leaving New Japan Pro Wrestling. You can never rule out the idea of Okada joining TNA full time. But I think really what it takes for TNA to get that massive TV deal, it's having the roster that is recognized by TV networks that would make them want to invest. And I don't know, look, I don't know what the whole situation is with the TV deal. Anthem owns Access TV, and it has its advantages because they own Impact, they own TNA, and they own Access, right? So it does make a lot of sense for them to stay on Access. The problem is Access isn't necessarily available everywhere, and that's kind of where the issue lies. Now, I'm just kind of throwing this out there. I've said this before, I believe, on a live stream, but if you guys haven't heard me say this before, I would really like to see TNA Impact on the CW, right? CW is interested in wrestling. WWE NXT is heading there. It could be a really cool thing for the CW to pick up TNA. It's available for free for everybody, so there's no excuse for people who can't watch it. And then because Anthem owns Access TV, you can just put replays or whatever on Access TV and then as well as TNA Plus. But we'll see how it goes, because right now, after Impact, TNA Impact on TV, you could watch it immediately on TNA Plus at 10 p.m., and I don't know if another television network would appreciate that, but we'll see how it all goes down. Super excited about a new TNA TV deal. And who knows, maybe TNT, FX, Disney, ESPN. I mean, hey, it looks like all these companies want wrestling. So AEW and WWE can't be the only two companies we talk about. Let me know what you guys think down below.